It's the 1985 NCAA Basketball Championship. From the Omni in Atlanta, it's the Northeastern Huskies versus the Illinois Fighting Illini.
This NCAA tournament game featuring the Fighting Illini is brought to you in part by True Value. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value. They've got what it takes. By the Magnificent 7 Chevy dealers and the Chevrolet Motor Division. And by Bud Light. The best has a taste all of its own, satisfying but never filling. So ask for Bud Light.
Mike Patrick and Larry Connolly. It's great to have you with us for the NCAA basketball tournament from Atlanta. Illinois against Northeastern. And Larry, in this first game, Illinois 24-8 on the year, and even with injury problems, they finished second in the Big Ten.
Mike, they did have a lot of injury problems. I think the big loss was George Montgomery, who was their center. He was the guy in the middle, second leading rebounder in the Big Ten last year. A loss like that can be almost death to you. But they've had Scott Mintz, who also happens to be injured. He has a bad hand. This is an injury-plagued team this year, and a lot of people were disappointed with the year Illinois had. But you've got to remember, they've beaten Oklahoma twice, and they've beaten Michigan, two clubs that are top-seeded in 4 of the regions.
Now, for Northeastern, they are 22-8. They have a 12-game winning streak going. But outside of the ECAC, not too many people know about the Huskies.
If you're going to sit and watch this game, you're going to see a great basketball team in transition. They love to run, and they're a pressing club. A lot of fun.
Could be a good ball game, Illinois and Northeastern, and we'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment after these messages. This is Mike. Ephraim Winters. We're in the Omni in Atlanta, and it's Northeastern against Illinois. Let's go to the public address announcer, Marshall Mann.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Metro Conference welcomes you to the Omni for the 1985 NCAA East Region first and second rounds. The opening game between the Northeastern University Huskies and the University of Illinois Fighting Illini. Here are the lineups for the opening game. At forward for Northeastern, number 35, Reggie Lewis. At forward for Illinois, number 44, Anthony Welch. At forward for Northeastern, number 31, Quentin Dale. At forward for Illinois, number 33, Ken Norman. At center for Northeastern, number 34, Kevin McDuffie. At center for Illinois, number 24, Ephraim Winters. At guard for Northeastern, number 10, John Williams. At guard for Illinois, number 22, Doug Altenberg. For Northeastern, number 3, Andre LaFleur. At guard for Illinois, number 25, Bruce Douglas. The head coach of Northeastern is Jim Calhoun. The officials, Jim McDaniel, Bob Shillard, and Mike Corey.
We'll return with the opening tip-off after these messages. You're looking at Jim Calhoun, the head coach at Northeastern in his 13th season with 224 wins there, 22-8 this season. And his opposition today, Lou Henson of Illinois, number 15 in career wins in the NCAA, number 1 in the Big Ten of active coaches, and he has had a 24-8 record this year. Larry, that's tied a school record for wins, and without those injuries, it could have even been better. Here's a look at today's officials. Jim McDaniels, Bob Sitov, and Mike Corey. They will control the action And it's Northeastern in the black uniforms, Illinois in white, and Northeastern controls the opening tip.
Mike, it was almost as if Illinois conceded that opening tip-off, but Winters got the rebound.
Quentin Dale had the first shot of the ball game. Reggie Lewis, their leading scorer, number 12 in the nation, had not touched the ball. And here's the turnover. Bruce Douglas has the ball bounce off his shin and out of bounds, guarded closely by John Williams, number 10. And here's that pressure from Illinois.
And you're going to see a lot of that today. Lou Henson likes to put pressure on, but Northeastern loves to run. There's another turnover right there. They've exchanged the basketballs on their first 2 possessions up and down the floor back-to-back. And now Illinois is going to see a little bit of that Northeastern pressure.
Not unusual if both of these teams be a little tight at the start.
I would think so. And, you know, Northeastern, as we said earlier, you and I were talking about the way they play. They're really the type of basketball team that likes to come out and play a 94-foot game. And if they can get Illinois into that type of game, they've got a shot at winning this.
Illinois, a team very used to being in this tournament, but so is Northeastern, even though a lot of people don't know much about it. And not only used to being in the tournament, they're used to winning that first-round game. This is Altenberger.
Illinois uses a very patient offense. They don't rush into anything that's out of their offensive mode, and what they like to do is move the basketball around so they find that opening and get that good 15-foot jump shot or the layup.
Welch looking inside, can't find anyone, so he goes to Altenberger. Now back to Douglas, and Welch will take his first shot. Welch, the leading scorer on this ball club, averages 12 points a game. Very balanced attack for Illinois.
Mike, also a reminder to our viewers, we no longer have the shot clock in the tournament. Both of these clubs play with shot clocks during the year, but neither team having to contend with that today.
Ball handling guard is LaFleur. Gets it to Reggie Lewis. His first shot is long. And the rebound goes to Ken Norman. And now Illinois once again in possession ahead to Altenberger. Maybe a lot of loose balls in this game. Both teams like the defensive pressure.
Northeastern is a very quick basketball team. Finding the line, I would like to get into a half-court game because they're much stronger and more physical on the inside. And they'll push it in there to try to get that shot there.
Welch misses, has his own rebound, and power move to the basket. And it's a blocking foul call against Northeastern as Welch made the nice move to go to the hoop. The foul will be on Quentin Dale.
Anthony Welch with the miss right here. Hits the back of the rim. It caroms back to him. Good offensive move right there to get his rebound. Watch him make the good move. Looks like the man had pretty good position right there. Welch tried to get inside to get the rebound back in again, but the foul was committed on the inside.
Foul is on Dale. Unusual to find a senior on this club or on this court today. Very young ball clubs for both. And Welch will go to the free throw line. Pretty good shooter.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for Northeastern, and they've got 12 freshmen and sophomores on this team.
Welch misses the first. It's 2-0 Illinois. If you just joined us, 18 minutes, 11 seconds to go. First half of play from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Welch hits the second. 3-0 Illinois. This is LaFleur pushing it up court. As Larry told you, Northeastern loves to run.
They won't take a lot of time. They'll get their chance or opportunity to put it up, and they'll stick it as quickly as they can get it up there.
Ball knocked out of bounds, and it's a foul on Bruce Douglas, reaching in, trying to slap it away. Number 1 on Douglas, the junior from Quincy, Illinois.
Mike, you know, the officiating in the NCAA tournament is always a very key ingredient in playing, because these conferences that have their own officials that they're used to all year long, it may change somewhat on them. I know the Big Ten is used to playing a very physical type game. If the game is called closely, it may benefit Northeastern more than it will Illinois.
Reggie Lewis, baseline drive, shot won't go. Lewis with his own rebound. Misses again. Lewis got the rebound back, but this time I believe he committed the foul to get it.
Very offensive-minded Reggie Lewis. He's the man who was the number 12 scorer in the nation, and here's the reason why. On the missed shot, watch him go back and get his own rebound. Good effort. He gets it. Little loose ball in there. Tries to go back, get it a third time, and there he commits the foul.
Illinois with the basketball and a 3-0 lead early. This is Altenberger to Douglas.
Northeastern showing a little bit of zone now. They look like in a 1-2-2. Illinois trying to set up their offensive alignment to attack that zone.
Altenberger is one of those players who looks to pass before he shoots, but has good range. Missed this one. Winters offensive rebound and draws the foul. Ephraim Winters, the 6'9" junior from Chicago, who was a preseason All-American. He's been a little disappointing in scoring, Larry, averaging under 10 a game.
Good shot right there. He had some injury problems in the mid-year, too. Went down with that foot injury, or back injury, really.
That's right.
And they lost 3 basketball games right after that injury. He's a key person, a key individual for this Fighting Illini club.
Looking at Fuller, who has just checked in. Wes is a sophomore from Camden, New Jersey, and this is Ephraim Winters. And this is the first free throw. 73% shooter on the year. And even though his average is down, Larry, he fits into that team concept. And you see a lot of players around the country sacrificing their own statistics for the good of the rest of the players.
And I think Welch's re-emergence into that starting lineup has created maybe a downturn in his point production, but Welch has picked that up.
4-0 Illinois. LaFleur gets the ball to John Williams. Outside jumper is good. That's Quentin Dale with his first two and Northeastern's first bucket of the ball game.
That breaks a drought for the Huskies. It's a very difficult thing to come into this tournament playing a club who has a reputation like Illinois, and now they're all on the board.
That first one has to make them feel a little bit looser. Coach Lou Henson said Altenberger would not have to score a point to be a starter for him. He's such an excellent defensive player. But he does average 10.7 points a game. Baseline jumper by Welch won't go. Long rebound tipped to Douglas.
Early going, all the bounces seem to be going to Fighting Illini's way.
Working now against the zone defense. Northeastern will play a little bit of everything. Altenberger, baseline jumper, 6'2", Illinois.
You talk to the Fighting Illini fans, they'll tell you Altenberger can light it up from 20 to 22 feet, and that was an indication there.
Jumper by Williams won't go. Inside rebound, and the follow shot by Kevin McDuffie, the freshman from Baltimore, and it's 6'4".
And again, they come back with pressure. Northeastern now changes defenses again. Looks like a 1-3-1 trap. Fighting Illini recognize it, and they change their offensive alignment to try to get to the zone defense. Northeastern showing a lot different type of defenses in the early going here.
Northeastern, a team with the second longest winning streak in college basketball. They've won 12 straight. Alley-oop play. 2 Illinois players had a shot at it. Norman missed the shot. Welch with a follow.
It's rare that you see 2 guys going after the alley-oop. I think that's the only time I have ever seen it.
Watch Kevin McDuffie inside for Northeastern. He has been a big factor in this club's run. They have not lost since he came in to start at center.
Illinois gives you an awful good line on defense, too, Mike. They're a very physical basketball team, and there's a foul committed right there by Anthony Welch. What's made them successful, and Lou Henson has done this with his teaching, is their fundamental defensive play. Here's the shot in there. Here's the alley-oop prior to that foul. He misses right here, and again, Welch comes up on the other side with the basket. What I was getting ready to say, and my point I was going to make is the fact that Illinois really stresses a lot of defense. We think about their basketball team. We think about a strong physical club, but they love to play that defense, and they get down there and work at it very hard.
Dale, a 79% shooter. He was second team all-conference this year, second on the team in rebounding. Averages 14 points a ball game. Reggie Lewis, the leader on the ball club, with 24. Dale hits both, and it's 8-6 Northeastern back within 2, and here comes the pressure again, Larry.
And it's full court man-to-man.
Number 30 is Jerry Corcoran, or rather Mintz. And here's a foul before the shot. Mintz trying to help out in backcourt. Mintz working with a little injury of his own, had the air blow it. The wind came in and blew a door shut on his hand, and he has the last 2 fingers on his right hand taped together. Cost him a lot of time in the last 2 ball games.
That foul was against Tony Williams, who pushed. And just as Douglas was going in for the layup, he gave him a little shove. It was prior to the shot, so it's a common foul.
Number 1 on Williams. This is Douglas.
And again, Northeastern goes to that zone defense, and they're trying to pack it inside to keep the ball away from those inside, taller, more physical line-out players.
Mintz is in there, number 30 at center. He and Ken Norman have been alternating at the center position since George Montgomery was hurt. Inside to Winters, and Ephraim Winters, a nice turnaround move on the baseline and scores.
Northeastern immediately back up the side of the court with that fast break. They want to try to get it down the floor as quickly as possible. If you're playing against a bigger, more physical club, get the ball down floor quickly and get the user quickly.
Loose ball, and here comes the Illini. Altenberger with a 1-on-5 fast break. Wisely pulls it back outside to Douglas.
Northeastern again back into that 1-2-2 zone. Fighting Illini really have had no problem moving to the ball to the inside. They got Winters the last time, and they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds too, Mike, which is hurting Northeastern.
Good defensive play by Andre LaFleur. Ahead to Lewis, and Lewis will put it in. Scott Mintz got back to try to block it, but just a step late. Altenberger is guarded by LaFleur, and now LaFleur will go over
pressure out of that zone defense. And it was Reggie Lewis trying to trap on the other side with LaFleur.
Mintz at the high post. Ephraim Winters banks it home. Pretty shot by the junior from Chicago.
No question they're being able to get inside that Northeastern zone, and they're doing it very effectively.
12-8, Illinois with the lead. Short jumper rebounded by Winters. Right now the tempo is all Illinois. They've been able to control that.
You know, it's interesting, Northeastern's only down 4 points, but you get the feeling watching the basketball game that Illinois should have a much larger lead than what they have. And here's a throwaway there by Illinois.
Alley-oop pass a little bit too tall for Ephraim Winters. There's a timeout on the court with the score. Illinois 12, Northeastern 8.
Illinois sitting with a 4-point lead right now in the first half here at the Omni in Atlanta. And here's one of the reasons. A good dish on the inside against the Northeastern zone. Welch gets it back into Ephraim Winters. Watch him turn and bank it off the glass. Nice soft touch, Mike.
Sure is. We have Winters for 5. The official statistics have him in with only 3, but I think they'll correct that. So you've got Welch and Winters who have led the scoring so far with 5 apiece, and it's a 12-8 Illinois lead here early. And you see that Illinois has had more opportunities, and they have made more of those opportunities so far in the field goal shooting department. Larry, I think the biggest thing for Northeastern, if they don't get the rebounds, they can't get that running game cranked up.
Well, not only that, but they're getting killed on the glass on the offensive end, too, by Illinois. Illinois going back, getting second, third, and fourth shots, and Northeastern can ill afford that. They're a club that averages very few rebounds.
The officials are talking to both benches. Apparently there is some kind of a problem with jersey numbers, and we don't know what that could be unless they were listed wrong in the official book. We'll try to check it out for you. 13 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. Illinois leading Northeastern 12-8 here in first round action at the Omni in Atlanta. Mike Patrick and Larry Conley with you. They are talking to both teams about some problem with one or the other's jersey numbers, and I have never seen a delay for this reason before.
Nor have I, and I don't know what the problem is. We'll have to find out. We have someone going over to find out immediately what the problem is.
Okay, listen to me now. It was 32 on the printout that he took the information off of, and so it's technically it's just his mistake because he just took it off of there. Okay.
What they're saying is in the official book, the numbers are written down, and apparently the official who wrote it down made an error and put a different number down, so they're saying it's his mistake, not yours. If you have the wrong numbers in there, Larry, that can be a technical foul.
It is a technical foul, absolutely right. And you usually catch that at the beginning of the game, and you shoot the technical before you tip off.
Northeastern with the basketball, down by 4. This is Andre LaFleur, the sophomore point guard from Los Angeles.
Illinois changes defenses again. They've gone away from that man-to-man to a 2-3 zone.
Lewis with a high-arching shot way short, followed by Quentin Dale. He missed it. Dale tipped it in.
Norman actually hit the ball. He's the one that knocked the basketball in, but the closest Northeastern player was Quentin Dale.
This is Douglas quickly down court for the Illini. It's 12-10. Illinois by 2. They have led from the outset. Looking for Welch inside. Instead, they go to Winters, who comes out to get the ball. Good defensive pressure there by McDuffie. Long jump shot by Norman. Has good range, and in the last 4 weeks, he's been the leading scorer on this ball club, averaging almost 15 points a game. Here's Quentin Dale. Tempo picking up a little bit. Northeastern back within 2.
You know, it's interesting to note in the NCAA tournament what strategy these clubs are going to use without that shot clock. It's obviously Northeastern's not going to change anything they've been doing, and Illinois certainly is.
I don't think Northeastern was bothered by the shot clock all year long. Altenberg into the corner to Ephraim Winters. Nice pass underneath to Norman, and Norman.
Second basket in a row for him. He got one from the outside. That time he got it inside. Illinois really having no problem getting the ball inside against Northeastern. They maybe need to want to front the inside players and deny that pass coming in there. If they don't, they're going to get hurt badly.
This is LaFleur. His jumper won't go. Fight for the rebound underneath. And it looks like the foul is going to go against Kevin McDuffie. And McDuffie raises his hand.
You're going to see Winters take off on a flight here he didn't intend to take. Because McDuffie gave him a little bit of a shove just as he started to cross the lane.
Weisinger checks in for Illinois. He likes to push the ball up court a lot more than the other Illinois guards. Sophomore from Peoria. Very quick. And he's in there with Douglas and Altenberger also in there. So Lou Henson is going with that three-guard offense. And here's a foul underneath on the alley-oop as they tried to hit Ephraim Winters, and he was pushed.
Looks like Kevin McDuffie's going to get another foul, a second one in a row for him. You'll see him right here. A good lob to the inside. Winters with a great leaping ability. He got pushed right from the back just as he started to lay it in. Watch it from up top. You'll see the ball come in there. He can kick it a little bit underneath there, give himself a little bit more lift. The push came from down inside, and it was against McDuffie.
Now that is the 6th team foul against Northeastern. And Winters will go to the free throw line here. Winters still officially listed with 3 points, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. But Larry, I swear he has 2 field goals.
I can remember 2 that he got.
Officially, that's 4 for Winters right now. He's got 2 out of 3 from the line. 11-13 to go first half. Illinois now up by 5. Winters hits again. Nice soft touch from the free throw line. And it's 18-12.
Now Illinois changes defenses again. They go away from that zone, back to their man-to-man.
McDuffie pulls up with a little jumper. It won't go. Fight for the rebound. Brought down by Winters and dumped off to Tony Weisinger.
Good move by Lou Henson to put Weisinger in there right now. He's got a much quicker club out there when he's got Weisinger in the lineup. And it forces the other players to be somewhat quicker, too. Because this Northeastern was a problem. Now, all of a sudden, they got a quick guy out front. They've got to go out and guard. And it may open it up even more inside.
Another alley-oop. This time it's missed as Ken Norman couldn't quite get it in.
We may have a record alley-oop day today.
They were practicing it a lot yesterday. Here's a follow shot inside by Kevin McDuffie, and McDuffie is clobbered. Reggie Lewis fired up an air ball that time.
Really did. Watch this move right here. There's a lot of pressure on this young man. He's had to carry this club all year long. He's been the MVP in that league up there, also in the tournament. And right there you see him take a shot that really was not indicative of his ability. He's a much better shooter than that.
McDuffie at the line. And he is the best free throw shooter on this ball club. 81 out of 99 on the year, 82%. He's got to be a little tight at the start. This is a very young ball club. This is another freshman out of Baltimore Dunbar. That program just keeps pumping out great athletes.
Did you ever notice when you look at the top 20 clubs, how many kids on the roster are from Baltimore Dunbar?
Right.
And it just seems like it's been in the last 5 years that these kids seem cropping up. In fact, the city of Baltimore itself seems to be turning out more and more good high school athletes for the top-ranked colleges in the country. I see a lot of rosters that have that.
McDuffie goes to the bench. John Williams will check in, and here comes the full court pressure from Northeastern. They're down 18-13. Illinois beats it easily. Here's the block against Weisinger. Whistle, and then Weisinger commits the personal foul, reaching in, trying to knock it back away.
Watch it again. Tony Weisinger, the smallest member on this Fighting Illini club. He might have got hammered a little bit there, too. I think he was complaining about it. To no avail because Northeastern's going to get the ball back. And that was only the 4th team foul against Illinois.
LaFleur gets credit for the block. That's LaFleur number 3 with the basketball to Lewis. Baseline drive, double team, and it won't go. Another rebound at Ken Norman. Lewis has been shut down, and he is 50% of their offense. Altenberger on the cross-court pass back to Weisinger. Fakes the shot to Douglas. Loose ball, Altenberger. He'll get a lot of those. Douglas has to kick it back outside, and Altenberger looking for his first field goal. Won't get it there. Northeastern wants to run. This is what they do best. Lewis. Finger roll won't go. Altenberger with a rebound.
Well, both clubs got a lid on the basket right now. Nobody can seem to get a shot to drop through the court. Northeastern particularly having trouble.
We get Reggie Lewis on 1 out of 8 from the floor. Tough day for him. He normally shoots 50%, but then he hasn't seen too many defenses like this.
Northeastern back to their man-to-man defense. Weisinger trying to shout instructions to his club to get him in position for a basket. Nobody moving out there right now.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the half. Altenberger, baseline jumper.
Death taxes and Altenberger from 20 feet.
His second field goal. Altenberger is in with 4. Illinois starting to stretch it out a little bit, 20-13. Quintondale hit one from there earlier. Northeastern getting one crack at it now.
Fighting Illini coming down with almost every rebound on the defensive and the offensive end. Northeastern really having a problem with that. You can see the rebounding deficit right there for Northeastern. There's another rebound for Illinois.
Norman with a follow. Norman, an offensive machine inside. Scores again, and it's 22-13. And Jim Calhoun at Northeastern wants to take a chance to talk to his ball club about this. There's a timeout on the court with the score, Illinois 22 and Northeastern 13. This telecast is presented by the authority of the NCAA, and any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Production. Transportation arrangements provided through Fugazi International Travel, the official travel agency of the 1985 NCAA basketball tournament. Mike Patrick and Larry Conley, happy to be with you from the Omni in Atlanta. 8:35 to go first half, and it's Illinois starting to stretch it out a little bit, Larry.
The domination really is coming from the glass. That's where they're really taking the basketball game over. A lot of turnovers also by Northeastern, although the Fighting Illini also have given it up a number of times. But it's the backboard that's really killing the Huskies right now.
LaFleur, number 3, and Williams, number 10 of the guards. Reggie Lewis, their leading scorer, had it knocked away from him. Now the double team trap in the corner, and right between it goes John Williams. Nice move by John Williams, the freshman from Boston.
Oftentimes, that's the only way you can beat that trap is just simply work your way through, knife through that double team and get through it, and that's what Williams did. Good pressure by Williams right now on Bruce Douglas.
So far, Northeastern having a terrible time from the field. Illinois has been getting the good shots. A little surprised their percentage isn't higher. That's Metz.
Mike, the thing that makes them so effective in their offense is the way they move the basketball. You won't see them very often take a bad shot. They'll work that ball around until they get the good shot, and Metz did right at the free throw line.
24-15 Illinois. No shot clock again here in the tournament. Teams can be just as patient as they want to be. Williams long-range jumper and hits it. The young man only averages 6 points a game, has 2 quick buckets here, and it's 24-17.
Now Northeastern's going to back off of that press a little bit.
Weisinger. He's in the backcourt with Douglas, so Altenberger moves to a front court spot, which he can play at 6'4".
That gives Illinois 3 guards out there right there with Altenberger, Weisinger, and Douglas. It's a pretty good 3-guard front. You got 2 strong guys on the inside right there. You got Mentz and Norman on the other side.
Underneath to Norman, taken away. Then Norman goes on the floor after it and lost it. Turnover caused by John Williams.
Williams got really active in the last minute of play. Didn't he ever? Baskets, and now he's gotten the basketball on a turnover.
After that timeout, Jim Calhoun may have said something like, you got to go out there and give us something right now. We need a lift.
John Williams is kind of the story the local kid makes good. Grew up in Boston. In fact, just a few minutes from the Northeastern campus. Decided to stay there and go to school. Just a freshman, doing very well for them.
Northeastern not making very many mistakes, but then they're not hitting very many shots either. Tried to get the ball into the pivot to McDuffie. They turn it over there, but got it right back. And now Illinois with the ball.
How many loose balls have we seen the Fighting Illini come up with in the first half? It appears as if they're
all of them, I think. 24-17, Illinois by 7 with 6:23 to go in a very fast-moving first half.
And again, watch the patience of the Fighting Illini. It's a fast-moving first half, but they also look for that good shot. They got one right there.
Welch back into the ball game, missed his jumper. Mentz went for the rebound, couldn't get it. Wes Fuller picked it off for Northeastern. This is LaFleur. Right side back to Fuller. Baseline drive, has to dump it back out to Williams. Williams missed the shot but drew the foul, and once again John Williams has really done a job in the last 2 minutes for Northeastern's offense.
Really gotten them back in this basketball game, even though they're down right now by 7. You'll see John Williams right here take the basketball. Watch Altenberger come out, try to block the ball, threw his body right into him. When Williams goes to the line, he'll shoot 2 shots.
Most people think that Altenberger is the best defensive player in the Big Ten. Just a tough man to operate against. Williams' free throw won't go. Tough free throw shooting day so far for Northeastern.
It was an unfortunate incident. Altenberger hurting his back during the middle of the year. They lost those 3 key basketball games. And we talked about, Mike, you know, this is a pretty good Illinois basketball team. They've beaten Oklahoma twice. They've beaten Michigan. That's 2 of the 4 clubs that have been ranked, or at least seeded, as the 4 top teams in the country.
That's right.
The other 2 being Georgetown, and then you got St. John's and the Michigan club.
Altenberger, after 2 missed free throws, Illinois still leading by 7. Down to 5 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the first half from the Omni in Atlanta. Ephraim Winters jumper swish. Pretty shot by Ephraim Winters. He's in with 7 along with Welch.
Give Illinois credit. They're getting back on defense pretty quickly, too. Northeastern really has not had a chance after a made field goal to get any cheap basket. They've gotten back, gotten in position, and Northeastern has to go into that half-court game.
Into the lane once again, John Williams. 3 straight buckets for that young man out of the lane area. And it's 26-19. Here's the pressure again. Northeastern has played a Big Ten team this year, Ohio State, and beaten them.
Beat him at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Altenberger. Douglas yelled at him, says he's coming to trap you. He gave the ball up and got it back to Douglas. Again, watch the patience of Illinois. Oh, good feed inside.
Winters, a great pass. Altenberger missed the shot, but the foul was committed by, no foul. They're just going to call goaltending on Wes Fuller.
You missed it. I don't mind you missed it. Just say you did.
Here's Jim Calhoun. He says you missed it.
Looked like a pretty good block to me, 28-19, 4:50 to go, and there is goaltending on the opposite side, and Calhoun was off the bench in a hurry. He wanted to make sure that one was called.
Watch it once more. There is no doubt about this one. The other one, I don't know, but that one was definitely on the way down. Good leaping ability being exhibited right there by Norman, but you can't block it when it's coming down.
There's a timeout on the court with the score. Illinois 28 and Northeastern 21. With 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first half, it's Illinois leading Northeastern by 7. And there are some of the Illini fans who have made the journey to Atlanta, Georgia for the first round of the NCAA tournament. Expanded field, of course, this year, 64 teams. There's a lot more teams a chance to come here and dream of glory, doesn't it?
I got to tell you, it's made it really interesting. I know the committee, when they decided to expand it from 53 to 64, as we look at Jim Calhoun right there, he showed a little vociferous attitude about this call a few minutes ago. That has made it more exciting. They've got more geographic areas of the country participating now. It really makes the month of March, I think, the best sporting event in the nation.
I have to go with you. It's the most exciting amateur event anywhere in the world. Every March. Illinois with a nice, comfortable 7-point lead. This is Norman back in there. Altenberger around the screen, and he buried it. Good, solid player.
He really is. And he's just a hard-nosed kid. Not only is he a great defensive player, but you can see his shooting ability. I mean, he really is. He's just like Dev Taxis and Altenberger from 20 feet. You just know it's going to be there.
Reggie Lewis, the 12th leading scorer in the nation, averaging 24 points a game, has really been shut down so far. And here is the steal by Douglas. Lewis trying to get back. Douglas missed the jam. There's the foul on Norman. No. The foul will be on Reggie Lewis.
What a turn of events that was. How about the steal by Douglas, and he missed the jam. Watch this right here. He's up strong. I think he jumped a little too soon. He was a little too far out. He missed it. Good rebound effort right there, and Lewis with a foul.
It's our best player. Hell of basketball call, isn't it? Hell of way to
Watch it down low. That's what happened, Mike. He just got too far out.
The foul is on Lewis. That is his 3rd and the 7th team foul. It will send Norman to the free throw line for an opportunity. 62% shooter. Sat out last year after transferring from junior college. Free throw, good again. Jim Calhoun on the Northeastern bench really upset with the officiating crew. He has really been giving him a tough time right now. And this is Quentin Dale, the senior from Newport News, Virginia, coming back into the Husky lineup. 32-21, Northeastern down by 11. They could use a couple of quick baskets, Larry.
Right now. Illinois' gone back to that zone defense. Weisinger on the point of it, the 1-2-2. Pretty good guys on the wings, too. You stick Welch and Altenberger out there, 2 pretty quick guys.
LaFleur and John Williams passing the ball back and forth outside. This is McDuffie into the corner to Dale. His jumper won't go. Rebound in Norman.
Well, they have just totally dominated the glass on both ends against Northeastern. Northeastern really hasn't had a chance to use their quickness. And as soon as they started to use that press, Lou Henson stuck Weisinger in there to beat the press.
I think there was one sequence in there early where Northeastern got a couple of quick offensive rebounds. That was about it. Great play in here. Altenberger missed. It's a shot, whistle, and a foul. And this one will go against Anthony Welch. It'll be his 2nd. Altenberger got a nice pass down the lane, just couldn't get the shot to fall.
What's going to draw the foul? Lou Henson right there. I think he's complaining about his call.
32-21, an 11-point margin. Illinois took the lead from the outset, and they've been stretching it out a little bit more ever since. LaFleur does not shoot that much.
Got back to a 2-3 zone. The Fighting Illini. They're packing it back inside.
Kicks it back outside to Wes Fuller. Now back to LaFleur. Northeastern showing a lot of patience right now, even though they're down by 11, looking for the good shot. And LaFleur will try to hit it from outside. Won't go. Winters lost it and stepped on the end line.
And again, it was nobody but white shirts. That's all you saw around the basketball. Nobody with a black shirt in there attempting to rebound. They're just absolutely sweeping everything that's coming off of that backboard.
With 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go, first half, it's Illinois in control over Northeastern, 32-21. LaFleur looking inside. Douglas went for the steal again, got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. The pass was intended for freshman Ernie McDonald, number 24, who's in the ball game.
You know, Bruce Douglas led the Big Ten in steals for the second consecutive year this year. He's got great arm stretch, great length. He gets out there. There's a travel again by Northeastern, another turnover.
McDonald, the third guard on this ball club, took that little stutter step, and it cost his club the ball.
Fighting Illini really having the better of it right now. Now there's a good inside move by McDuffie, keeping the ball away from the Winters. You got a front, you can't do it from behind right there, and that's what they attempted to do. And it was a foul committed on the inside.
Wes Fuller reached over the shoulder, slapped at the ball. It's Fuller 21.
See the post-up position by Douglas there. They're doing that on both sides of the lane. So if they move the ball on the perimeter, they'll find a guy open on the inside and dump it in there. They couldn't get it to Winters on the other side. They swung the ball to the other side and got Douglas low. Foul committed by Fuller.
Douglas goes to the line for the first time. 74.5% shooter on the season. Number 1 all-time at Illinois in assists and steals.
Well, the Illinois really begin to stretch this lead out now. They're up by 12.
Missed the second free throw, but Winters kept it alive. Now, Winters just wanted that ball more.
And again, it's another rebound for Illinois.
Douglas says he wants it at the top of the circle, back to Altenberger. Looking for Norman underneath.
Illinois being very patient on offense. You'll see him down screen and pop somebody loose either on the side or near the free throw line.
Long jumper in and out by Weisinger. Northeastern trying to run. McDonald has to hold it up. Back to LaFleur. Baseline. Lost it. Stolen by Altenberger. Just picked his pocket. Douglas will hold it up. Back to Altenberger. 1 minute, 31 seconds to go first half. Illinois pulling away. Here's a whistle and a foul inside. It's going to be on Quentin Dale for holding.
There's a lot of jockeying going on the inside net paint. I'm going to tell you, both clubs are trying to fight to get in position to either receive the ball or steal it. You saw the foul committed right there by Northeastern, and Quentin Dale is the recipient of that foul. But they really are. They're going at each other hard, and Northeastern's trying to front to keep the ball from going in.
This will send Altenberger back to the free throw line. Good free throw shooters on both of these ball clubs. And Altenberger misses this one. Doesn't figure every time you say it.
Or to say they're poor shooting.
Sure, then they carry 12 in a row. 1 minute, 19 seconds to go first half. Illinois by 12. Northeastern with the basketball. Second longest winning streak in college basketball is on the line right here.
Illinois
Northeastern with 12 in a row.
Illinois with that zone defense again. Now they get it inside. Northeastern a slap away by Winters.
Oh, Illinois has just been terribly impressive here in the first half. They have done everything right.
Well, they've had a reputation of being a good defensive club ever since Lou Henson got to Illinois. There's a good example of it. Winters with a slap away before Northeastern has a chance to get the ball up to the basket. They do a lot of movement with hands, Mike, and they'll try to get that loose ball, and they've come up with a lot of them. There's a score by Northeastern.
That's Ernie McDonald, the 6'3" freshman reserve guard. He makes it 33-23. Let's see if Lou Henson wants his club to hold it for one shot. There's 42 seconds to go in the first half, and they spread it out. Douglas telling his teammates where he wants them.
There's no question that Illinois has really had the better of it here in the first half. They've done just about everything they needed to do to get this lead to where it is, and they're up by 10 with a chance to go to 12. Northeastern's going to have to make some serious changes at halftime. Illinois right now with the spread got that chance, as I said, to go up to 12.
17 seconds to go in the half. They like to start their offense right around 10. This is Weisinger. He and Douglas to Altenberger, and Altenberger will shoot it a little early maybe for his coach, but not if he makes it.
I'll take it, he says.
4 seconds, and Northeastern will lose the ball out of bounds with 3 seconds to go in the first half. Everything has gone the Illini's way, and that's Scott Mintz. No, it's not Mintz. I'm sorry. It's Jerry Corcoran for Northeastern into the ball game with 3 seconds to go. They get it down to the baseline, fight for the loose ball, and there's the buzzer. That is the end of the first half with the score, Illinois 35 and Northeastern 23. We'll be back after these messages.
Only a 7-rebound margin for Illinois. I thought it would have been a lot more than that.
Turnovers just about even after Northeastern had not made any mistakes early. And team fouls, Northeastern got in a little bit of trouble there because Reggie Lewis, their leading scorer, picked up 3 in a hurry. Of course, Lewis has really been the story of the lack of offense for Northeastern today. He has not had a good shooting day, only 2 out of 10 from the floor. And there you see Lewis's points, only 4 points in the first half. And Larry, when you rely on one man that much, he's got to score because your offense is not set up to do much else.
Well, as you said, he's averaging 24 points a game, and when you can only get 6 points out of your big gun, you're going to struggle, and that's what Northeastern has done in the first half, and they really have not shot the ball well at all. As we look at Illinois scoring, Altenberger leading with 10, a good distribution at the top right there with Norman with 8, Winters and Welch sharing 7 apiece, Mintz with 2, and Douglas with 1. Altenberger had a great shooting first half. He buried those balls from the corner.
And this is the kind of scoring balance that Illinois has had all year long. They've gotten good production from all their starters, gotten good help off the bench. Coach Lou Henson usually only goes about 7 deep. And right now, the Illini have reason to smile with a 35-23 lead over Northeastern. Larry, is there anything you saw in the first half for Northeastern fans who are watching up in the Boston area that give them some encouragement for the second half?
Well, they've been pressing the whole first half. I mean, they've come out and changed defenses and played a 94-foot game, but it hasn't hurt Illinois at all. They continue to beat the pressure. Weisinger and Douglas and Altenberger have gotten through the press. I think what they've got to do is concentrate on keeping that ball away from the inside, the Illini players, and also getting on the boards. They've got to start rebounding. They had that reputation of being one of the leading rebounding teams in the nation, and they really haven't shown it in the first half.
Well, we'll return with the second half of this afternoon's ball game after these messages. This is an NCAA Productions telecast. And it tells you what this NCAA tournament is all about. It's the emotions. The winners stay. The losers have to go home, and there's nothing quite like it, Larry.
Well, they try to measure it up to the Super Bowl. I think it may be past the Super Bowl now. As far as attendance and people coming out for these basketball games, NCAA showing significant increases in attendance, more people coming out for college basketball. It's just America's game. Basketball is a great one.
I have to go along with that. This is Lou Henson, who has had an outstanding first half with his Illini ball club. They're up 35-23 over Northeastern and head coach Jim Calhoun. And if you just joined us, Illinois in the white with the blue and orange trim, and Northeastern in the black uniforms with the white and red. Illinois reached the Final Four 3 times, but not since 1952. This is Altenberg, guarded by Andre Lafleur. Almost lost his balance. Alley-oop inside to Norman, and Norman puts it on, and once again they go right back inside.
Well, they're taking advantage of that height that they have, and they're showing it right there. They tried a number of those alley-oops in the first half. Some were unsuccessful. That one was.
Illinois now up by 14 at 37-23. Lewis to the baseline, had a tough first half and opens with a tough second half, but the follow shot inside is good by Andre Lafleur.
And that's a positive mark for Northeastern, the fact that they got an offensive rebound and put it back in. Lewis continues to shoot poorly. He's now 2 of 11 from the field.
Northeastern trying to trap. Lewis averaging 24 points a game, normally a 50% shooter, and he just has to get uncranked for Northeastern to have a good shot at a comeback here.
Good
Welch faked the shot, got it inside, and draws the foul. Thought for all the world that Welch was going to take that jumper.
What creates the problem for Northeastern is having Altenberger and Welch in the corners, who are both good jump shooters on that baseline. So when they go out to get him, they drop the ball inside to Norman, who's got the layup. So which are you going to concede? Are you going to concede the shot inside or outside? Illinois seems to be getting both right now.
I was just going to say they've been getting him from every quarter. Norman at the free throw line had a nice first half, hits the free throw. A little unusual style there. He stands straight up. Maybe that's one reason he's only hit 62% of his shots.
Shoots it like a line drive. The ball goes up there with very little trajectory.
Hit both of those, and Illinois back to a 39-25 advantage.
Illinois changes defenses. They now go to a 1-2-2 zone. Pretty good idea to force Northeastern to shoot that ball from the outside. Douglas with another one of those steals that he is so known for.
And Douglas takes it away this time. No help back on the break, so he'll pull it back outside. Douglas, a very smart player, as is Altenberg. Very good court sense.
Illinois again being very patient with the basketball. They'll look to the inside. They'd like to get Norman or Winters the basketball.
This is Welch, gets it to Douglas. Winters wants the ball low. They can't get it to him, and here is a steal. Northeastern trying to run. Douglas reaches in to slap it away, can't get it. Altenberger with a big block, but he commits the foul on John Williams.
It's a good assist right here, almost an assist right there, and a pass by Andre LaFleur. Watch him get the ball to Williams. Altenberger gave up his body right there, and he passed it on to LaFleur. Williams, I mean, right there, you'll see the foul committed. Altenberger got over a little bit late. LaFleur handled that ball pretty well coming down the middle of the court because Douglas was all over him as he was trying to get it into position to make the pass.
Free throw, short, no good. Northeastern can't seem to get anything working right now. Foul was the second on Altenberger, who got his money's worth with that one. Free throw this time by Williams is good. 39-26. Margin cut to 13. Here's the pressure again. Illinois handling it very well. Now this pass goes right off the fingertips of Winters.
And a turnover against that press. That may bode well for Northeastern. Illinois again back into that zone defense. They're in a 1-2-2 alignment. Northeastern moving the ball around the outside. That should have been a jump ball or a walk right there.
Reggie Lewis got the roll. I thought Lewis went up and came down with the ball without doing anything else, and that's a violation.
Well, it's either a walk or a jump ball. You can't go up and come down with it.
3 straight for Northeastern. They've cut the lead back to 11. Altenberger with a fake shot.
Northeastern with a little bit more pressure now. They're coming out on the basketball and beginning to front those Illinois players inside.
Winters leans in, missed the shot. Northeastern trying to run. This is LaFleur for the gimme. And Northeastern has scored 5 in a row, Larry. They're back within 9.
All of a sudden, Illinois didn't get back on defense that time, which they were so successful in doing in the first half. Northeastern making a run at Illinois right now. Good pass to Norman.
Norman beat the press, and that's the gamble. That time it cost them 2 as Norman went inside and scored the points.
When you play the kind of game Northeastern plays, you live and you die by your press.
41-30. In the lane to McDuffie. Stripped as he went up for the shot. Kevin McDuffie, the freshman, with a grimace on his face.
And it was Altenberger that slapped it away. But just when Northeastern starts to make a run, Illinois answers with another great defensive play, and Altenberger with a good one then.
This is Norman looking inside to Welch. And Welch will pop it from 17. Pretty shot by Anthony Welch.
Illinois is a good jump shooting team, Mike. You know, he just comes from those guys in the Midwest. I think they grow up in their backyard and on the concretes of Chicago doing nothing but shooting those 15-foot jump shots.
Here's a baseline drive and an offensive foul called against Andre LaFleur.
Good position right here. There's the charge. Foul was completely, that was accurate. It was a good call, and it was just a good position inside by Norman.
He was planted and waiting, and LaFleur trying to make something happen inside. Picks up the personal foul. This is Weisinger back in the ballgame against the press, almost thrown away. Douglas double team, gets it to Altenberger. Lou Henson goes to 3-guard offense, faced with that big press. Altenberger, good fake at the baseline, very patient.
You know, he had a chance to take a bad shot right there and didn't take it. Brought it back down and set their offense up. It's a sign of maturity and a good player, and that's what Doug Altenberger gives his club. A lot of leadership.
Norman to Weisinger at the baseline. 15 minutes, 42 seconds left in the half. Douglas. The tip-in goes. Illinois now with a 15-point lead at 45-30 over Northeastern with 15:26 to go in the game. Baseline jumper inside by Dale is blocked. Here is Weisinger on the break. And it's blocked, but the foul will go on Andre Lafleur.
And all of a sudden, Illinois got into the transition game. They kind of like it. Good block by Winters. Another defensive play. A gem by the Fighting Illini. And you'll see Weisinger take the basketball. This is the other end of it. Altenberger with a nice pass of about 70 feet. Weisinger draws the foul and goes to the line for two. Illinois playing extremely well right now.
Weisinger at 5'10" did a good job of shielding the ball away from Andre Lafleur, who is 6'3". Lafleur is just waiting for the block. And Weisinger, who is a superior free throw shooter, goes to the line, hits the first. It's now 46-30.
You know, Mike, it's nice to have a player like Weisinger who come off your bench and give you a little bit of a spark. He's a short guy, the shortest guy on the club, and when he comes on there, he makes things happen. He makes the rest of the Fighting Illini players look around. Their activity picks up somewhat. Their defense even picks up a little bit better.
Wes Fuller in for Northeastern. Scott Mentz, number 30, the big center, is in for Illinois. The free throw by Weisinger is good. 47-30 now. Northeastern had made a little run there, Larry. Scored 5 in a row, and all at once Illinois comes right back at them. Double pump inside, and they'll get a foul on Douglas, who did not like the call. That is number 2 on Bruce Douglas, the junior from Quincy, Illinois. They had John Williams trapped up in midair.
Yeah, you talk about a complete basketball player. You look at Jim Calhoun in his squat position there, yelling instructions to his players. I was talking about Bruce Douglas. You know, he really does so many things for the Fighting Illini.
Jumper outside by Williams, short, knocked out of bounds. It will be out to the Huskies of Northeastern. I think Altenberger was the last player to touch it.
Illinois will pack it in with that zone defense and force Northeastern to move the ball back outside.
Poor shot out of the corner. That was Lewis. The follow by Quentin Dale. Reggie Lewis just having a tough time against this Illinois defense. He's only scored 6 points in the ballgame. Averages 24 a contest. Norman, nice pass to Altenberger. Shot won't go. Mentz had a hand on the rebound and now picks up the loose ball. Mentz double pump. How often do you see a 6'10" center with a double clutch 15-footer?
Not often. I tell you, you won't see him fold those legs up underneath them either.
That makes it a 17-point lead for Illinois.
Good move. Great baseline move right there by Reggie Lewis. Maybe he's getting on track, Mike. That's the kind of move he needs to make. He's got his basketball club thinking, let's get him the ball. Maybe he's starting to play a little bit now.
Really the first time Lewis has looked comfortable on offense in this ballgame. Weisinger directing traffic at 49-34. Illinois with a 15-point lead. Altenberger low to Norman. Back to Altenberger. He made the shot. Pretty play. Altenberger moves without the ball. Very well.
Some things never change in basketball. Give and go. I'll give it to you. You give it back to me. Altenberger with a super move in the paint, drew the foul, and got the basket. Good concentration on his part. Excellent play on the part of the Fighting Illini.
Altenberger will go to the line trying to make it a three-point play. He's not flashy. He doesn't do any of the gimmicky things, but he's the kind of player that every coach wants to have. He can do a little bit of everything, and more than a little bit of everything, really.
I believe he's an excellent golfer. Set a course record on one of the local courses there.
He's got something like 66, didn't he? That's your kind of score, Larry. 13 minutes, 2-34. Larry, they've dominated inside.
They have, and the basketball moves so well in the hands of the Illinois players. You see it right here, move around the perimeter, and here's where they've killed him. Norman with a tip-in. That offensive rebounding that Illinois has thrown at Northeastern has really been the nemesis. It's really put Northeastern behind the 8-ball.
Northeastern with the basketball. This is Andre Lafleur. They're trying to get Reggie Lewis, number 35, their leading scorer, on track. Lewis into the ballgame right now with 8 points, but he is only 4 out of 14 from the floor. Good range. He can hit it from there, but doesn't way short on that.
He's really beginning to force it, Mike. In fact, he's been forcing it from about the 5-minute point of the first half.
Weisinger. Northeastern needs to play some tough defense right here. Welch baseline and just drilled it.
Great move by Welch. He just turned and went the opposite way, and it's a 20-point lead for the Fighting Illini.
13:07 to go in the game. Northeastern trying to claw its way back into this one against an Illinois team that tied a school record with 24 wins during the regular season. Lewis short again on the shot. I think he got the bounce on that. I think the bucket will go to Lewis. Illinois people wanted a goaltending, but I don't think anybody touched it.
Nobody did. The ball just hit the front of the rim, and he did get a good roll. 2 baskets now for Lewis. He's beginning to get untracked offensively. Northeastern needs that desperately. They've got to get some turnovers here against the Fighting Illini. They're down by 18, and we're under 12.5 to play.
Welch wide open against Lewis. Missed the shot. Winters fighting for the rebound, and Winters will be called for the personal reaching over the back.
Let's watch the play one more time. You'll see the shot right here by Lewis in the corner. Now watch the ball go up. It comes down. Oh, he did touch the basketball. He did hit it.
Well, Northeastern got away with one. They haven't had too many breaks all day, Larry. Maybe they deserved one.
Again, Illinois goes to that zone defense. Baseline jumper by Lewis.
Oh, he's got the rhythm now. Lewis has hit 3 of his last 4 shots. It's 54-38. It's cut back to 16 with 12:08 to go.
Good move by Weisinger. LaFleur trying to put pressure on him out front. Difficult to get the ball away from that young man.
Altenberger back to Welch. And Welch hits another big shot outside. You have to be impressed with Welch. Even at 12 points a game, he is the leading average scorer on this ball club.
It's unusual that you have a guy who's just averaging 12 points a game, particularly on a club like Illinois.
LaFleur with penetration really for the first time in the ball game, and Northeastern now picking up its offensive intensity a little bit. Weisinger guarded by LaFleur, goes down to the floor. Surprised no one really went after him when he went down like that.
Welch again in the corner. That time McDuffie got out there a little bit quicker and denied that shot. There he is again. Boom.
Welch hits it again. He's just marking the book when he takes it.
I tell you what, you get 2 guys like Welch and Altenberger burning you from either baseline. It's tough to run a defense out there. Then you got Norman and Winter sitting in there waiting for the ball if you go out to get them.
58-40. LaFleur again trying to penetrate, tried to dish it off. Welch intercepts.
There you go, 6'9", running the court with the basketball.
And Mintz travel. Not the guy you want to throw it to on the fast break. I mean, Scott at 6'10" and 230. Probably not the man you want in the middle of a 3-on-2.
What you want to do with him is get him posted and throwing the ball. Tough to catch the ball on the run when you're 6'10", particularly a hard pass, and that was a tough pass.
Mintz will check out of the ball game, and Ken Norman, number 33, is back in. Norman, in the last 4 weeks, has been Illinois' leading scorer.
Illinois is a little more zone defense in the second half here.
Lewis a little short on that jumper. And Bruce Douglas with a rebound from the Illini, leading 58-40. Approaching the 10-minute mark in the ballgame.
Illinois again trying to swing somebody off of that screen on the other side. Welch has been the hot hand right now. They look for he and Altenberger. And if they can't get it to he or Altenberger, watch for the Winters inside or Norman.
Douglas leans into one in the lane and hits it. Illinois hitting on all cylinders, and they have it back to a 20-point lead.
Pretty deep arsenal they've got down there. They can throw just about any weapon they want at you.
And a traveling violation call on Kevin McDuffie, who bumped into Altenberger, turned around, nobody was there, and I think he was a little startled and took a step. There's a timeout on the court with the score, Illinois 60, Northeastern 40. It is Illinois holding a commanding 20-point lead over Northeastern. And one of the reasons is right there, just very crisp shooting. Illinois, even though Northeastern picked it up in the second half, Illinois just continued to pick theirs up.
That's right. They went from 52 to 71. 20-point lead right now for the Fighting Illini. And obviously the big problem has been Reggie Lewis for Northeastern. 6 of 18 so far. Think what it would be like if he were hitting 50%.
Oh. Here's a pass ahead to Norman. Had Mintz wide open under the basket, decided better of it, and came back outside to Weisinger.
And again, watch him move. Watch him move without the basketball. Screen down, post up. Good offensive moves, the passing game, and John Williams with a foul on Scott Mentz right there. Illinois does such a great job of moving without the basketball, Mike, and that's good teaching on the part of Lou Henson and his staff. They really do move well without it, and once the basketball hits the guy's hands, he's always looking for somebody who is moving.
Very well drilled. Foul on Williams, now his third. 2 in the second half. Non-shooting foul. And Douglas will inbound for Illinois to Weisinger.
You know, Illinois really can take a lot of time right now without the shot clock and the 20-point lead. They could almost just sit back out there and do anything they want to do.
I was going to say, they can be just about as patient as they want with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the game and a 20-point lead. Here's the ball knocked away. Norman had it stolen from him, picked off by Fuller. Lewis baseline, this is his game, and it won't go on the jumper. Lewis loves to run and get those perimeter jumpers. He's now 6 out of 19.
Northeastern's got to come out and put pressure on. There's a foul by Williams against Weisinger.
That'll be number 4 on Williams as he picks up another in a hurry. The freshman from Boston went for the steal. Probably the best defensive player on the ball club. And LaFleur will come back in for him. He's got to sit down.
LaFleur replacing Williams for Northeastern.
8 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Mike Patrick and Larry Connolly with you from the Omni in Atlanta. This is Mentz. Norman. Douglas will take a jumper. I don't think the basket would have counted anyhow. The foul is going to be against Illinois. I think it's Mentz.
Yeah. It was a screen down low. He and Welch were double screening to pop Douglas loose. That's why he got the ball, but Mentz stepped over in front. And you can't do that. When you establish a screen, you've got to stand still.
Well, Mentz is the kind of guy you want setting a screen. 6'10", 230. Looks a little bit bigger than that even.
It takes those guys about 2 days to get around.
That's right. 8:39 left to go. Northeastern down by 20. They need points, and they need them in a hurry. Lewis trying to penetrate. Got the roll. Lewis is now 7 out of 20, 14 points on the day.
Immediate man-to-man pressure by Northeastern. The Huskies came out and tried to get the steal that time, but they got the ball. The Illini did, got it in the hands of Weisinger, and he's the guy who brings it up.
Wes Fuller on Weisinger. Weisinger gets around him in a hurry. Now picks up his dribble to Mentz. And here's a bad pass, and the foul is going to go against Quentin Dale. As they say, he held to get that interception.
Good position in time by Dale. He would have had the steal. I don't know that he needed to hold to get over there because he was wide open to get it.
Illinois already in the bonus. So Norman will go to the free throw line. 4 out of 4 today. And only a 62% shooter on the year. So he's had a good day at the line, and you're right, he has that little line drive shot.
It's very difficult to get your balance like that, too, when you're spread out like that on the base. You spread your legs evenly across that free throw line, and it's very little trajectory. His shot, it really doesn't rise very much above the rim. But he's having a heck of a day, so I don't guess we want to change too much, right?
Boy, he sure is. 6 out of 7 from the floor, 6 out of 6 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. That's not a bad afternoon. 62-42, still a 20-point lead. Ernie McDonald, number 24, is into the ball game. This is Lewis, cross court to McDonald, almost threw it away. McDonald couldn't save it. Lewis really put some mustard on that cross court pass.
Northeastern again with full court pressure.
Time becoming a factor now as we're inside of 8 minutes. 7 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the ball game. It is all Illinois here at the Omni in Atlanta. They're up 62-42. Illinois threw that one away, and here comes Northeastern.
2-3 zone being employed right now by the Fighting Illini. They really played zone pretty much most of the second half and forced Northeastern outside. They're going to beat them. They're going to have to do it from the outside.
And Ernie McDonald trying to get the ball to Lewis. Lewis rather casually reached out one hand and lost it out of bounds.
That's a demanding taskmaster right there, Jim Calhoun. A lot of speculation about his changing positions, and it doesn't appear that that's going to happen. They came out yesterday and told us that, hey, he's staying at Northeastern. He's got a young club. He wants to stay exactly where he is. He was being mentioned for that Providence job.
And a couple others, as I understand it. He's been very successful in 13 years there.
Really started with brought him to the Division II school up to the level that they are. Kind of tough to leave a school when you've built it like that. It's kind of your baby. You've nurtured it, you've raised it, and now they're playing so well. What's 5 NCAA trips now? 4 of the last 5 years.
4 in the last 5 years. LaFleur goes baseline to baseline. Got it to Lewis, who missed the layup. Lewis is just having a terrible afternoon. The 12th leading scorer in the country just can't get anything to fall for him.
I tell you, when you can't make a layup off of a great pass, you know you're having a tough day.
That's right. Sophomore from Baltimore, 6'7", 185, and he takes the jumper here off the back of the rim. No. Douglas with the ball. 6.5 minutes to go. Illinois trying to salt it away against Northeastern. They're leading 62-42.
Oh, good
nice backdoor cut, and the layup by Tony Weisinger. Pretty pass.
How often do you get to see a 5'10" guy do a backdoor cut? And it was a great pass from Bruce Douglas.
64-42, Illinois.
Illinois putting on a clinic right now, Mike.
Jumper outside. That was by Ernie McDonald. It wouldn't go. And once again, the Illini just sweeping the board. Here's a bad pass and a turnover. And Northeastern will call a timeout as Jim Calhoun wants to talk to his ball club about the situation they're in with 6:04 to go.
Door cut. Bruce Douglas with just an outstanding pass. Got Weisinger making the cut. Get it up quick, Tony. You're only 5'10".
And right now, Northeastern is in this situation where they are going to be vulnerable to backdoor cuts like that. Illinois, once again, just controlling the boards. And Northeastern has never had a chance to really get back in here, although they have shot better from the floor in the second half.
Not included in those numbers of good shooting has been this young man. He's just had a terrible, terrible afternoon.
Lewis clanks another one off the front of the rim. He is 7 for 23 from the floor. Normally a 50% shooter. On an average night, he scores 24 points a game. Douglas working one-on-one on Lewis.
I'd look for the Fighting Illini to become a little bit more patient with the basketball right now. They're really in no hurry to go anywhere. In fact, they've moved their offense out further on.
That's right. Just as you were starting to say, you expected to see it, they did it. This is LaFleur all the way to the hoop. Shot won't go. Nothing is going for Northeastern. Foul will go against Illinois inside.
1-0.
They've missed about 4 layups here in the second half. There's an easy one that comes off the back of the rim. Good rebounding position by LaFleur inside, and a foul by Weisinger.
64-42, non-shooting foul. Northeastern will inbound. They get it in the lane, and a travel call on Wes Fuller. You could see him shuffle his feet, trying to get position to take a shot inside. Here's the full court pressure. Scott Hafner into the ballgame for Illinois. He's number 4. Freshman from Noblesville, Indiana. Douglas to the baseline, almost lost control, came back up with it. And we're down to the 5-minute mark now with Illinois leading by 22. Starting to spread the court a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to make them come out of that zone defense. They're in a man-to-man right now. And what they've got to do is try to look at Mintz right there. They've got a big tussle going on the inside.
Mintz and Jerry Corcoran, the freshman, 30 against 30, and Corcoran will pick up the personal foul. Played on the Irish Olympic team. They didn't make it to L.A. They were beaten by the Russians, but they say they have a very aggressive style of basketball over there, and that's the way he plays.
Well, tomorrow's his day, St. Patrick's Day.
That's
tomorrow.
right.
He should be having
mine
some
too.
kind of. Oh, of course, Michael Patrick.
Mintz will go to the free throw line. He and Norman have been very effective at that center spot as they have alternated since the injury to George Montgomery, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. It will go to Illinois.
Wes Fuller just simply dropped it. He couldn't handle it. Ball rolled right off his knee out of bounds. Nothing going right for the Huskies of Northeastern today.
This is Steve Evans, a senior, who will get into the ball game for the first time out of Newark, New Jersey, co-captain of his ball club. Has not played much since the influx of youth
Good idea to get Hafner in the basketball game right now, and I'd expect to see, if they had more players coming in for the Fighting Illini. They've only got 9 on the bench that they're using in this tournament. They'll have a tough game tomorrow because they got to play the winner of that Georgia-Wichita State game. That'll be a good one.
Weisinger hits the outside jumper at 66-42. Illinois has been slowly building its lead since the start. Douglas takes it away from Lewis. Great pass to Weisinger, who dumped it back to Hafner.
That's what you made a nice save. That's great team basketball, Mike. You look for the other guy. There's a foul right there, committed on the outside, and it was done by Ernie McDonald. The thing about it is when you got a club that always is looking for another player to pass to, you got a solid basketball team. Look at Douglas, Weisinger, touch pass right back. Hafner had no chance. It was a bad pass, but still the idea was good. He's trying to get the ball to the open man.
Well, Weisinger did just about the only thing he could. He got it a little late. He certainly couldn't shoot it from that position. So just trying to save it, and Hafner was there.
He was almost standing in the pom-poms before he let that one go.
Hafner, a 6'4" freshman, averages shade under 2 points a ball game. It's got to be a thrill for guys like Hafner and other people who normally sit at the end of the bench, get a chance to come in and play in an NCAA tournament, even if they're not going to contribute in a close ball game. It's got to be a thrill for them.
He's a good athletic family. His dad was a basketball and baseball player at Butler University.
Lewis short on the jumper again. And here comes Woodward into the ball game for the first time. Reggie Woodward, the junior from Chicago, hits a bucket, and it's mop-up time at 69-42 Illinois.
It really sets up an interesting matchup, I think, for Sunday's game between Georgia-Wichita State winner and against Illinois. Illinois keeps playing the way they're playing right now. Well, they're going to take a trip to Providence. I can guarantee you that.
They have been very impressive in what has got to be the toughest regional field in the NCAA this year, right here in Atlanta. And the shot by Reggie Lewis is good. It's 69-44. Down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game.
Illinois trying to carry the flag of the Big Ten. One of their clubs went down to defeat yesterday. Purdue did. Ohio State was the winner, and Illinois looks as if it's going to be the second team in the Big Ten to win.
Norman with a follow shot off of Hafner's miss, and Norman scores again. Been an outstanding day for Ken Norman. And most of his teammates, for that matter. Here's the loose ball. Picked up by Williams. Into the lane to Lewis. Lewis, that must be the 4th or 5th time he's gone up for a shot and just had the ball taken out of his hand.
Northeastern looks like they're very slow getting the ball from the waist up to the shooting position, and Illinois really taking advantage of it.
Norman looks for Hafner cutting across the lane. Alley-oop to Ephraim Winters. Pretty pass.
That was the coup de grace.
2 minutes, 25 seconds left. It's now Illinois by 29. Larry, it's interesting looking at the scores from yesterday. Now that they have a system where there are no byes in the first round, the coaches said there wouldn't be nearly as many upsets in the first round, and boy, they were right.
They were absolutely correct. We didn't see one come across. The Purdue-Auburn game was a good basketball game. It could have gone either way.
Norman, a little baseline jumper, short, goes after his own rebound. For those of you who might be wondering why Lou Henson doesn't have all of his reserves in there, he does. He's only got a handful of players, so you're probably going to see a starter or two out there anytime, or at least a familiar face or number. They'll take Winters out of the ball game right now to a big ovation from the Illinois partisans here. Winters will leave the ball game, only 9 points, 6 rebounds on the day, but he doesn't have to carry the scoring load anymore. Illinois with a lot of weapons. McDuffie comes back into the ball game for Northeastern, and Corcoran will sit out. Northeastern's basketball. Almost tossed away, but McDuffie has it. Inside to Lewis, put it up with the left hand.
Nice move by Lewis. Sure was. A little bit of his offensive ability here in the second half. He really suffered in a bad drought that first half.
This is Woodward, pretty good ball handler. Got it to Hafner. Mintz. This one won't go. The rebound of Northeastern went out to 127. And it's Illinois in a walk by 29. There's a powerful looking move by Kevin McDuffie. He's a good looking freshman, Larry.
Too little, too late. You know, this is a good Northeastern club. They got up there. They won 22 games this year. You know, this is a good club for Jim Calhoun to build on, too. You look at 12 freshmen and sophomores on this basketball team. That's a pretty good league they're playing in, and they seem to be getting better year after year after year.
Well, for people who aren't familiar with them, in past NCAAs within the last 5 years, they've won first-round games against Fresno State and St. Joe's. They took a highly regarded Villanova team to triple overtime before losing. So these kids are not flukes. They're just not having a good game today. And give a lot of that credit to Illinois. They've done everything right. Andre Lafleur with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Rebound to Hafner.
Good rebound by Hafner there. Long rebound went up between two Northeastern players.
Hafner tells Weisinger that he'll play the point. Working into the lane. He wants the jump shot. Put it up a little crooked. Won't go. Fight for the rebound. Brought down by Dale.
Good move by Dale. Tough shot. If you're going full speed, you got to stop on a dime and go straight up and shoot it. He did. Too little, too late, though. Again, it's 21-point lead for Illinois.
John Williams all the way into the lane to score at 73-52. They've cut it back to 21. And there's a happy Illinois bench. They have lived to fight again another day. Now, this is a tough regional to fight in, though, isn't it, Larry?
I'm telling you. You could possibly, you know, I think the Eastern Regional is the toughest as we look at the Northeastern bench. I know that's a bunch of disconsolate young men right there, but you got to give them credit. They had a great year. Started off a little rocky, but they really came on toward the end of the year, and they had this 12-game winning streak at the end. And really, you got to give Jim Calhoun credit for that and his club to hang in there.
At the line, it's Kevin McDuffie, freshman from Baltimore. Since he's been starting, he's averaged 10.5 points and almost 7.5 rebounds a ball game. And he's played pretty well today. Very powerful young man. Free throw wouldn't go. Lewis gets the tip in. Lewis has come alive, but a little bit after the fact. Full court pressure. They get it to Woodward. He'll take it all the way under. Nice pass in the lane to Norman. Basket counts, and he draws the foul.
Looks like John Williams, I think, committed the foul. If it is, I think that's his fifth. You'll see the pass right. A good move to get him up in the air. Norman with good position to receive the ball, and there's John Williams with his fifth foul.
It is number 5 on John Williams, the freshman from Boston. A couple of seniors for Northeastern will be playing their last game today with down 20 points with 20 seconds to go. I feel safe in assuming that. Quentin Dale, senior from Newport News, Virginia, and Steve Evans, who was in briefly, the senior from Newark, New Jersey, the co-captain of the ball club. But then when you consider 64 teams in a single elimination tournament, only one of them is going to be happy at the end.
There'll be a lot of them walking around with a lot of pride, though, to get to that Final Four.
Follow shot inside, won't go. Lewis with the rebound. He follows and scores with 10 seconds left. Full court pressure, 3 seconds to go. Woodward gets a shot off, but not before the buzzer. Lou Henson over to congratulate Jim Calhoun and his coaching staff at Northeastern. That's the end of the ball game. Our final score, Illinois 76, Northeastern 57. We'll return for some closing comments on today's game after these messages. Final score here at the Omni, 76-57. The Fighting Illini of Illinois over Northeastern. It was a game that Illinois, Larry Conley, took the lead and just kept spreading it out a little farther and a little farther and a little farther, in control all the way.
They got the jump, and then they never looked back.
We've got Lou Henson with us, the head coach at Illinois. Coach, 25th win of the year right now, 25-8. I know you have to be proud of the way your kids played today. They seem to be in control of everything all the way down the stretch.
Mike, we were very pleased with the way the team played today. We know that Northeastern has an outstanding ball club, and we thought it'd be a very close game, but I think maybe they were a little bit off of their game, and we were sharp. We did a lot of things right. We did a good job on the boards. We shot the ball well. Our defense was good, so I was really proud of the young men. I felt they really fought hard.
Well, you always concentrate on defense so much, and Larry Connolly is with two of your stars of the game who seem to give you a lot of defense all the time.
Oh, they really did. Doug Altenberg, I think, is one of the finest defensive players in the country. We always put him on one of the tough players. He has another guard by the name of Bruce Douglas who plays very good defense. And then Ken Norman has really developed into an outstanding defensive player for us. You'll be talking with him. He's 6'8". He moves well. He can cover the perimeter player or the inside post.
Larry, you want to ask Ken about his offense? In the last month, he has been the leading scorer on this ball club.
Ken, you really have been. You kind of picked up the slack when Montgomery went out of that lineup and they had to make a change and Mintz went into the center. You two guys sort of shared that spot, and you've really carried the load for them in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. As the season has progressed, I've gotten more and more comfortable with the offense, and I've been going to the boards real well, and things have just been going my way.
Terrific. Doug, I want to ask you something. You guys have such a great distribution in your scoring. You were the leading scorer at halftime with 10 points. When you look down the list of the Illinois players, everybody seems to be bunched. You've got 5 or 6 players all averaging somewhere between 8 and 12 points a game. Is that by purpose? Is that by design?
Well, we're all pretty much, we all know that individually we're not great players, but as a team, we're a great team if we play like a team. So we try to spread it around, pick for each other, hit the guy when he's open, and it's a team concept. And when you have something like that, a lot of different guys get open in different situations. So as long as we keep putting in the hole, all 5 of us or 7 of us, we'll be fine.
I think the thing that was most interesting to Mike and I today as we were watching this game was the defensive play that you guys had. You always seem to come up with loose balls. You're always slapping at the ball as it goes down the lane. And we remarked several times during the basketball game how you were able to do that.
Well, we were really alert today. When we came out, we sensed that Northeastern was a little bit undecisive, and they're young, so we wanted to jump on them early. So we were really alert. We were really fired up for the game, and we got every loose ball. We really played hard. It was a great team effort.
Ken, I want to ask you one more question, then I'm going to give it back to Mike Patrick. You know, when you got a guy like Welch and Altenberger shooting on the outside, it kind of opens up things for you on the inside, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. When you have great shooters like Anthony and Doug, they have to concentrate on stopping that perimeter shot, and that frees the big guys inside.
Nice to have Douglas and Weisinger around to dish it, too, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Those guys really do a good job of feeding open man.
Mike, these are 2 fine players.
Boy, they sure are, and they showed it today. Lou, I wanted to ask you one thing about being in this regional. This is the toughest regional of any one. I guess it's always an honor to be picked for the NCAA tournament, but then you get sent to a regional like this with a tough field. It's sort of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Well, it is. I really think this is, if not the toughest, it's right up there because there's so many outstanding teams here, and I think we have balance every place, Mike. I think we have outstanding regionals every place, but I think most people probably feel that the Eastern regional is probably the toughest.
Do you see any difference with having a full 64 teams in the field? Now, I know a lot of coaches said last year the teams that got the first-round byes were in danger of being knocked off in the second round, and yesterday and so far today we have not seen many upsets.
I really like the 64 teams where you don't have the byes. I've never really favored the bye situation because I think everybody should play. So I like the concept that we have now, and I think the selection committee did an outstanding job. They did a real good job. There's so many things that you have to look at when you're trying to put teams into regionals. You don't want to put them against your own conference, and there are a lot of other criteria that they use, and so they did a good job.
Not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, it certainly isn't.
Well, neither is...
Welcome back, everybody.